Hey guys, my name's Nathan and I have been daily driving a 24-year-old car for a little over 6 months now. Here are some of the drawbacks that I've come across during that time. So this car's purpose is to be the ultimate daily driver, an 8-seater that you can take shopping, you can tow a little bit with it, and it lives in the midweek. Putting it away in the garage for that Sunday drive would just be completely pointless. So I mentioned previously in another one of my videos that getting in and out of this thing can be a little bit of a faff. And by faff I mean it's a little bit annoying sometimes because this seat is about 1 meter off the ground, and unlike a normal car, even a normal SUV where you can just open the door and kind of slot yourself in a van, and obviously this is specific to this type of car, you have to climb over the front wheel. And so you're always having to use multiple points of contact just to get in and drive off. And the same goes for getting out, because you want to preserve something like this. You don't want to be sliding off the seat constantly and eroding it over time. So getting out, I find myself doing like a bit of a jump to avoid everything. And I wouldn't want to know what it's like if the whole side of the car is quite dirty, because if you're wearing some fancy clothes, chances are you'll scrub up against it. So yeah, while it's not the end of the world, it is a little bit annoying if you have to do it repeatedly throughout the day. So in another video, I mentioned that the automatic transmission needs someone with a PhD in automotive engineering to operate. And the reason for that is this was marketed as a 4-speed automatic. In reality, it's a 3-speed with overdrive that has 6 ratios.
And if you get it wrong, you'll destroy it.
Well, just like that, there is no traction or stability control. So you kind of have to know the limits of the car and your own driving style in order to be able to safely drive it, because the electronics does not have your back. So parts are becoming scarce. So if you damage something or you screw something up while working on it, you're going to have to plead with people to find the parts and then get them to sell it to you. Also, mechanics are not very, how do I say this, knowledgeable on working on old things like this anymore, the vast majority of people at least, from my own experience. So firstly, not only will you have to tell the mechanic exactly what needs to be done, but you might also have to guide them as to how to do it properly. Either that or do it yourself. So more and more people are becoming environmentally conscious, which is a good thing. So am I. But that also means that you get judged by a few people, and that number's increasing, just for driving something like this. In their minds, it's a clunky old diesel that's polluting this beautiful earth that we all share. In reality though, this thing chews no more fuel than, say, a modern turbo diesel like a fairly recent Prado. It's also not very large, and it's also not heavier than a Land Cruiser. So people look at it, they see that it's an 8-seater, they can tell that it's a pretty decent sized van, and then you pull into a compact parking spot and it's no bigger than a Toyota Prius. So go figure, you do get stereotyped and judged. Not that I would know anything about that. So because of the scarcity of parts and the trickiness of working the automatic transmission, you can't really lend this out to people. So if someone says, hey, you got a van, I need to go pick someone up, or we're going on a road trip, can I use your car? You can't really lend it out to them, because chances are they'll destroy it. So you might look like a bit of a prick when the time comes that someone wants to borrow your car and you say no. And then they say, well, I don't see the point, you know, he's just got this clunky old van and he won't lend it to us, he's obsessed with it, he's a bastard.
The very existence of you driving a 24-year-old car also means you probably chose to do so, and you've probably invested a whole heap of time, effort, and money into your car. This isn't something that you buy accidentally, so there is that constant fear that some dipshit is going to steal it, or some lunatic driver will write it off, which, in Perth, is about as likely as Lewis Hamilton winning the World Championship. So, knowing what I know now, and having been there, done that, would I go a different route if I could do it all over again? Would I choose something like a Land Cruiser or a modern SUV over this?
Fuck no.